Facebook friends and family. I just wanted to check in with you today. Today is Tuesday, the day after Memorial Day. And I've been thinking about what I wanted to share with you and what thoughts have been coming to me that I felt needed to be shared. And by the way, I'm here at Craig Regional Park again, and I just love it. It's so beautiful. I'm sitting on the grass, and it's so pretty. But anyway, the reason why I felt compelled to share is with Memorial Day. I haven't shared this, but my brother is in the hospital. He has been in the hospital since since Friday of last week. And this is the second time in the hospital in the past 3 weeks. But I don't share that for anyone to feel sorry for him or for me because of the fact that he's in the hospital. What I wanted to share about it is, and kind of the topic of what this live feed is that it's even in our journey when we think, things could be going great, and in some areas of our life things could be going great, and then there could be other areas of our lives where still we're being confronted with things. And so that's kind of what I've been experiencing. I guess like getting an awareness about myself and some of the things that I think. So since my brother's been in the hospital, I cared for him. He lives with me, so I handle his care every day. But since he's been in the hospital, I've hardly heard from him. And I was feeling like a little butthurt about it. Like, hello, why isn't he checking in? I've been texting him and he hasn't been answering. And then my siblings have asked, one of my siblings asked, if I'd heard from him, how's he doing? And I felt a little embarrassed to tell her that I didn't know because he hasn't been answering me. And I was worried what they would think if because I didn't know. And so I started making myself wrong about how, he's not communicating, how if I was a good sister, I should be calling and finding out what's going on. Like what does that look like to people if I'm not, following up and running. But what's been interesting for me is to come to this place of allowance and just ease, and allowing things to flow. And getting that, again, I'm falling into these definitions and expectations of how I'm supposed to act in certain situations, and it was stressing me out. So originally, I was feeling stressed that I wasn't hearing from him. I was getting frustrated, but then I started to realize that why I was doing that was because I was worried about what people would think about how much I cared about him if I wasn't acting worried. I don't know if that makes sense, but what I was realizing was that, and I told this to my husband the other day because I told him, after he got into the hospital on Monday, on Tuesday when I woke up, there was a part of me that felt like I wanted to feel like, oh my gosh, this has been like such an intense 3 weeks. I just went through this big thing with him, in the ER, trying to get him checked out. And, there was a part of me that wanted to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. It's been through so much. But then there was another part of me that was kind of like stepped back and thought, okay, yeah, that happened. And he's in the hospital and he's being taken care of. And so what can I get done today? Like, how can I be effective with my time? And I felt a little guilty, and I thought, I found it was interesting that I was having those two spaces, and I felt like I was telling my husband, I felt like I had to be in that space of like overwhelm and concern and worry, because basically I felt like if I wasn't acting that way, because my brother's in the hospital, that people would think I didn't care, or that it didn't matter to me, or that I wasn't being a good sister. And so this is one of the areas where I'm really working in, because it's that place of expectation that I put myself into, or that I know that people have of me. I know that certain people because I've had it happen before where I'm like, yeah, he's fine. And if I don't hear anything, they're like, why aren't you checking? And, getting upset with me for that. But the thing is, and again, I had to really reflect on this, because there was a part of me that wanted to get mad and be like, why haven't you checked in? But if you think about it, or if I thought about it, I was gonna be upset, because not necessarily because he wasn't communicating with me, but more because I was worried that when other people asked me, that they would think what they would think of me, and then wanted to subconsciously blame him for putting me in that position. So I don't know if that makes sense. And again, I'm sorry if this is kind of a weird live post, but I just felt it was important to share, because I guess a couple things is to really think about when we're reacting in a certain way, what's really going on, what's really underneath that, and where are we stepping into other people's realities and definitions, and expectations of how we should be, and do we want to take that on and make it our own? So that's kind of what I've been going through this week. I've been kind of vacillating between feeling really awesome because I've been having a really productive week, and I've been getting things done, and I've been doing my classes, and I've been doing my posts and building my business. But then on the other side, I'm feeling really guilty because I'm getting things done, and I'm not sitting there being worried about my brother, and I'm not following up and calling him, moment after moment, to make sure I hear from him, and I'm not, so it's been kind of like this space of, should I feel guilty or should I not? So, but I wanted to share that with you because, again, there may be some of you who go through those spaces where you feel like you have to act in a certain way because that's what's expected of you, and that if you don't act that way, then people will make a judgment about you. And so I guess what I'm doing is there's a part of me that's still a little bit nervous about people's judgment of me, especially those close to me, families and stuff like that, because I'm worried about their judgment because I'm not acting in a certain way. I'm not freaking out. I'm not, constantly checking on my brother. I mean, he's in the hospital. I am his emergency contact. I'm his main point of contact if something were to happen. His advance directive has my name on it. So I had to remind myself that if something really happened, they would call me and I would know. So what's the point of worrying about it? What's the point of stressing about it when there's nothing I can do? I'm here and he's there. So what I can do is ask, what would bring me joy in this moment? What would contribute to me right now? And so that's what I've been focusing on. So right now I'm at the park, and I did call my brother along the way and just checked in, and he answered, and we talked and laughed a little bit, and then I said, hey, just wanted to let you know I love you, and I'll talk to you later. And I hung up. So again, I guess we're gonna go like this in life. Some days will be great, some days not so great, and some days will be days where we end up being confronted with something yet again. And so I just wanted to share that again, that how are you reacting? Who are you being? And why are you being that way? Whose reality are you stepping into? Whose expectations are you buying as your own that has you choosing to behave in a certain way that maybe doesn't work for you, that doesn't bring you joy? And would you be willing to let that go? So that's my thought for you today, and I hope that helps you. And if there's a situation that you're dealing with where you feel that way and you don't feel like you have people that would support you and be a stand for you in choosing what works best for you, then hit me up. I am doing my best to be a space of no judgment, to just listen and allow people to express what they need to express, and maybe offer, if they're open to it, some awareness of a different perspective, or maybe something to consider, and always allowing you to choose, does it feel light for you? Does it work for you? If it is, use it, and if it doesn't, then don't. And that's really the thing with self-help is there's so many people out there sharing so much information, and it's all great. It just depends on what works for you. So I hope that gives you some insight. I hope that it helps someone out there. I felt compelled to share it, and so there's someone out there that it probably needs to hear it. So there you have it, and I wish you all an awesome Tuesday. Talk to you guys soon. Live it up and enjoy. Love you. Bye.